is at the kit, this beautiful kit.
Indeed.
When does it date from, John?
The drums, the toms and the bass drum are Leedy drums from 1948, and I think you'd agree that they're in pretty good nick, you know.
They're gorgeous.
Yeah, I've had them for about, I don't know, about 10 years ago. got this kit, and it's really warm sounding. Sabian cymbals are what I use. Yeah, they're nothing too. I like these new artisan elites, so that they're kind of. They're nice. And then the snare drums are old Ludwigs. So this is a 70s 402. This is a hand-hammered bronze. And then there's a spare snare down there. And that's a Ludwig Black Beauty.
Oh, nice. And look, we've got a trigger. What's a Roland triggering?
Yeah, that's a SBDSX. And I'm not using it much on this gig.
I'm glad you're doing that song.
Oh, don't look at that! I'll spoil the set, you know.
Well, if you weren't going to do that,
I've got proper music as well. There. That's my wee drum rotations.
This will be going published after the gig anyway.
Good.
They're his notes. You see, so you do make notes, don't you? You have to make notes.
Some of the time, yeah.
So we're looking here.
Paper clips.
We're looking at notes, which is very interesting. So these, because people will find this. I find this interesting. This is you've got Killer down here.
Right, so,
take us through your notes.
Well, I guess people call this like a cheat sheet, don't they?
Yeah.
You know, it's like that's the kind of name. You know, this isn't that detailed compared to some things I normally do, but I always put the tempo up there. Mm-hmm. That's the thing that I do because you never know when you know if you've got to count this song in, you don't want to count it at the wrong tempo.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I always have the specific tempo, so we're working at the right place. And then that means intro. That's the intro. There's a pre-intro there, you know, but that's just the synth. Then there's a pause. Then we're in the intro. I should have written in there. I normally write in, but then you're in the verse, so that'll be the vocal. Then interlude again, plus the bongos, because there's hi-hats come in there. Then another interlude, synth, chorus, down, verse, no hi-hats, tambourine on eights, two-bar.
You got a tambourine here, or is that the?
Well, there's a percussionist on this gig, so he'll cover that, you know. And then it's just the form of the song really, and then a few notes. That's it. And then I have a wee system of doing it that works for me. Everyone's got their own way of doing it.
And this is crazy up here.
Crazy, yeah. Some weird.
Big number.
But the thing is, a lot of stuff going on in these songs. There's a lot to do, and I hope you like the way we've ended up doing it. Being such a fan, you know.
No,
It's never happened.
I am so excited. I'm just taking the kit again. The lights are going down.
Yeah, we've got really expensive posh overheads on this tour. I don't know if there's any, but they're
what,
Neumann.
These ones?
The big fancy one you got the camera on there. That's like a Neumann.
Yeah.
387 vintage microphone.
Right, okay.
Interestingly, for the geeks out there, in a Glyn Johns, positioning. So there's one over the kit and then one behind you, and those work out.
And you've got one behind me, and then you've got another mic here.
There's mics on all the drums.
All the drums.
Everything, you know. I don't know how many mics there is, but this mic here, though, is a top microphone. So I've got a little foot switch down there. And so if I hit that foot switch, this microphone comes on, and then I can talk to the other guys in the band.
So and they can hear you through.
Yeah, and or the monitor guy. So if you know, for example, the snare drum's a snare drum's a bit bright. You know, can you warm it up? I can do that in there, or you know, I can't hear the bass, or you know, it's like it's a nice thing to have on a gig like this, you know. And
I'm just looking at your sticks down here. You've got 5 5/8s, which is interesting because I have 5/8s and I didn't know there were 5 5/8s.
Yeah, I've found these 55As and I kind of like them. I guess they're like a 5A but a bit thicker.
And you've got 2 snares here. What's this for? Do you take the snare off one?
No, it's just the main snare there in front of you.
Yeah.
That's tuned lower than, and this guy's nice and high pitched.
Okay.
So I use this for I use it. You know, they're two different tones, and on this gig, it's not some songs I'm just playing on that one. That's the snare, and most of the time I'm on this one. But I'm actually doing a few fills where I use the two snares. Some interesting stuff like that.
Right, let's get you behind the kit. I know you're not allowed to do much, but come on, because I'm not going to be this close later. Quick, play something. No one's looking.
See that? They're different tones, but I've also got this thing, that people might be interested in. I bought this.
What is it?
I invested in one of these. It's called a big fat snare drum. Right.
Right.
So actually, your favourite song, Killer.
Yeah.
I put it on for that and another one, but so Killer on the original, it's like a big fat 808 snare. So that's a bit too high. Put that on.
Oh wow.
Low, So I can I was using a trigger on the snare, but to be honest, it was too unreliable. I think I've had it for about 8 years and it's finally given up the ghost. So I sacked off using an 808 sample and I've gone for this instead. And I think with a bit of jiggery pokery from front of house engineer, we're getting the desired effect for that beat. So
are you allowed to play anything? Come on.
I'm not going to play anything. No, because
he's a professional.
I'll piss off the sound guy.
Yeah, and you don't want to piss off the sound guy.
You don't want to do that because I'm on tour with them for the whole month. So
you see, this is how you're successful. He's a professional guy and
professional to a point.
Professional before the gig.
There's definitely a.
Oh, this is amazing. There we go. Look, panning round again. Oh, wow. And here's can I get a little bit of the percussion? Would he mind?
No.
So who's your percussionist?
It's a guy called Godfrey.
Okay.
Who is mainly known for playing with Michael Kiwanuka, who's awesome. So he's just playing, all the so he's made some, see his notes are different to my notes.
Yeah, of course.
But effectively, obviously the same thing, but just different style of writing it.
And there, wow, look, this is a good box of toys.
He's got all his toys there, and then he's got congas and bongos, tambourines. He's got a cool thing, watch this, look, he's got a pedal down there, but it's got a cable that goes all the way over there for the tambourines.
Oh, wow.
I quite like that.
And he's got electronics as well.
Yeah, he does, yeah.
It's nice playing with percussionists. I
rivet.
like it at my jam nights.
It's a luxury,
I like it when someone gets on the bongos next to me playing on the drums.
I play a lot of percussion as well. I like being in that role. But yeah. He's got all sorts of wee bits and bobs, like chimes and all that.
Oh yeah, let's see the chimes. I like chimes.
Chimey, maracas. I can't play them from here.
Wow.
I gave him that thing from Sabian. I better shout out Sabian.
Yep. Shout out Sabian.
Gave me that wee crasher thing, so I gave it to Graham. He's using that. It sounds good. On Killer, I think he plays that.
And then we've got the down here. Where's the guitar? I've got a lot of guitar friends that would like to see the guitar set up.
Gibsons, and he's got all the guitars there, and then I don't know what he's doing.
And then the pedal board, which I don't understand, but it looks very fancy. And then the guitarist notes, and another guitar.
Yeah, we've got all sorts.
And then what's over the vocals? The horn section. More guitar. No,
this is a bass.
Bass.
Bass zone.
Bass zone.
So, yeah. That's Mike Rossi from LA.
Hi there.
Drum tech extraordinaire.
Ah, I'd rather be in LA. It's a bit warmer than here. Are you freezing? Yes. I'm not surprised.
Yeah, all the crew are American and they're all freezing on that.
Okay, so John,
yes.
Thank you for doing this.
My pleasure.
I haven't got him long. He's very busy. Second night of the London Palladium Seal tour, but we're going to get straight down to it. Mm-hmm. Tell me how old you were when you began drumming and why.
Well, I think I think I was, well, it was going from this, what do they call it now? But up from from the first school up to the big school. So primary school to secondary school. That's what they call it in Scotland anyway, right?
Yeah.
At the end of primary school, there was a choir going on, and I can't really sing very well. Still can't, you know. But someone gave me the tambourine to play in the choir, so I started playing the tambourine, and they said, "Oh, you got good rhythm," and I really enjoyed it. I still remember the feeling of playing the tambourine in that choir. You know, that's the first time I felt what it's like to play a groove. You know, and so all over that summer, I became interested in the drums. You know. I was into music. I was watching Top of the Pops all the time and all that, but I kind of just watched Top of the Pops and then saw how the drum kit was configured. Like, oh, he seems to be hitting a bass drum there, and worked it out. So then I had these like Lego buckets that my mum kept all my Lego, and so I made that into a little drum kit. And I kind of taught myself, and then all summer I was just banging away like that, and then went up to the big school where they had drum kits, so it's possible to get a lesson there, start getting lessons from a guy. So I asked the music teacher, I was asking him for a year, pretty much every day, saying,
Right.
and there's no spaces yet,
Oh.
I said, is there any space? Come back next Monday. And then one day he said, there's an opening for drum lessons, because I think it was popular to get drum lessons,
Yes.
at school. Everyone wanted to do it. So anyway, then I got given my lesson, and the guy was like, I'm right-handed, so put your right hand over your left. Started trying to teach me the basic beat. I could do it because I'd kind of watched Top of the Pops. That's how I got into it, and that was probably when I was around 13, and then I've never done anything else.
So you started, you had lessons, and you were hooked, right? You went home.
I was hooked from the tambourine in the
And did you know that is what you wanted to do as a job?
Absolutely. From that one moment with
Yeah.
the tambourine, I was like, I'm going to be a drummer.
Okay. And how did you
Well,
how did you do that? Did you practice hard?
At that time in my life, incredibly, like 8-10 hours a day kind of thing.
Right.
That was probably, oddly looking back on, I still did normal teenager stuff, but I was incredibly focused about, I want to be a drummer.
Okay.
And I just like soaked it up like a sponge.
So presumably you joined a band, right?
Well, I was very, very lucky in that the school that I went to, it's just a normal school, Prestwick Academy. Still there. It looks different now, but the music department there was run by a guy called Colin Wilson, who's head of the music. But he was really into all kinds of music, really, but especially big band jazz. So there was a school big band, even though we were just a wee normal school. But it was good, and we did. He and this guy, Mr. Malpass, put all the energy they had into that band, and it was just fun. We went to Dublin once, and we were playing, I don't know if we're tonight, because we're playing big band music with Seal, I don't think we played any of the tunes I'm playing tonight, but maybe, but it was kind of eclectic, we did stuff, Weather Report, like Pat Metheny, up to like Glenn Miller, like, kind of like jazz side of things. But
so that was when you learned, that was your ground.
Well, then I had a band to, you asked me if I got in a band. Well, that was my first band, was the school big band.
Yeah.
And we were playing all kinds of music, and I played percussion in it first, then I worked up to being the drummer. And that was all to a click track, actually, weirdly, because there was no bass players wanted to do it. So all the bass, so I kind of, that was my first band that I was in. You get used to all that kind of, the technology and count-ins and that kind of thing, which sometimes happens on gigs now. So yeah, I mean, I'm just very grateful to those school music teachers, really. I mean, I kind of look at it, if it wasn't for that, I really don't think I'd be here doing this. I think everyone's got their own path, you know, and you can make of it what you do, you know. But certainly a lot of the drummers that I admire and I'm essentially a jazz musician, and you know, those skills can be used in many different areas of music, you know.
Because that's, when you say that, that's interesting, because you've obviously worked with Goldie.
Yes.
And Pete Tong.
Yeah.
Right? And so...
Well, it's interesting because the more I, you know, the more I do this, the more I realise that everything's just the same, you know, and I mean that like musically or in life, you know, everything's connected. But musically, you know, when I first got asked to play with Goldie, I thought, I didn't know much about drum and bass then, you know. I knew the bare essentials about jungle and drum and bass, you know. And so I thought, what am I going to have in common with this guy, you know, who seems like super energetic and really in your face, and his thing is jungle and drum and bass, you know. He pioneered a lot of things that make that music. Anyway, he gave me a phone call and we got chatting, and we had a mutual love of Pat Metheny, and who's a jazz guitar player for people that don't know. But check him out. Pat Metheny is one of my favourite musicians. But he Goldie really likes Pat Metheny, so he was like, "Oh my God, you know, B-sides of this and like live versions, you know." And I was like, "Whoa, you know, this is great." And so then you know. That's what I mean by everything's connected, isn't it? Yeah. So it's just, you know, everything, and then he's taught me a lot. You know, I've taught. He's enjoyed playing with live drum. He's tried that a lot over the years, but he likes us for some reason. But I like him too. You know, I love him. But yeah, it's you know, people want to be inspired by the people you're around. You know.
Well, and you know, like we were saying about Seal, we grew up with these people that you're, you know, yeah, I mean, on the Pete Tong.
Pete Tong.
Does how does he feel about, like, if something goes wrong, do you go, oh, it's gone all Pete Tong?
Well,
I have to ask you that.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
I don't know if that's happened.
That's my joke. Right, I'm going to ask you a few things because I'm aware of the time. How did you get this gig with Seal?
Well, very randomly, you know. Yeah, so I think it was like Christmas Eve, like just gone there. I got a text message from my friend Pete Randall, who's playing the bass in this band, and he said, "John, what are you doing next year? Have you got on?" I said, "No, at the moment I got nothing on." You know, I was a bit like, well, this year was going to be a fresh start for me, and I didn't know what I was going to work on some of my own, like, developing. When he said, "Oh, a friend of mine will give you a shout about something." I said, "All right, cool." And then this guy Tim dropped me an email asking me if I'd be interested in working with Seal. So, but Tim, basically what happened was Seal needed a band, and this is like big band music and all his well-known hits kind of thing.
Yeah.
So you'll see tonight. Yeah. But the two the musicians have got to be able to do a lot of different genres.
Yes.
So anyway, I don't know. I guess they thought that I'm quite good for that, you know, because I do play a lot of music, different styles, and anyway. But so those guys are all from Adele's band. So it's basically Adele's band, but with me on drums. So It's kind of, that's how they got. Well, I don't know how Tim got the gig, but he's very good at MD.
And Tim's the bass.
Tim's playing guitar,
right.
And he's the MD, musical director.
Right.
So he is Adele's musical director, various other people, and so Seal gave him a shout, and then he gave me a shout. That's essentially summed up the last 5 minutes of chat.
Yeah. And you know, as I am a super fan, well, you know, that sounds like I'm a bit crazy. I'm not. Yeah.
You're getting all this
I'm not
puns in.
a crazy fan, but I'm a long-term fan. And you know, since I was 18 and I was introduced to his music. So, and as I said to you before, I've seen him quite a number of times. So, was there pressure on you to, you know, did you feel pressure? Do you feel pressure to play these hits, you know, that are so well known, and could you kind of do your own take on it, or
Well,
did you have to keep it quite authentic?
Well, every gig I kind of go in with an open mind, you know, because, but you know, specifically for this, let's talk about this. So
Yeah.
the big band stuff is, you know, I'm the record has got these guys from LA on it, you know, Count Basie's orchestra, I think. Or they're just great studio musicians from LA, and it sounds really good. And you know, Seal would want you. For me, when I listen to it, there's certain things that I hear, I know he'll want, because it's part of the record, you know. So it's like if the drummer didn't do it, you know, and it's small things and big things, you know. It could be like a rim click on beat 4 in the second half of the instrumental in some song, you know. But that's on the record. And it's meeting him and kind of figuring out what kind of guy he is. It's like he's quite particular. So then if you're working for someone who's quite particular, you've got to be delivering on that front, you know. Some gigs it's like people want it to be different all the time, you know. And this is different all the time, actually, every night.
Is it?
Oh yeah, because he goes off on one, you know.
Yeah.
He can go off on one, and then everyone's got to have each other's back, you know. So we're developing that. It's been great for that, you know. Because as I say, I'm a jazz musician, so I like
Improv.
Yeah, I like it when things, you know, something goes a little bit awry, and it's like, right, how are we going to solve this, you know? If a chord's played wrong or something, or you know, someone goes to, it's like, I've got you, you know, it's like music, it's like talking but with music,
Yes.
you know.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of that going on, and but yeah, going back to the kind of hit stuff, you know, like
Crazy
for
and
Crazy
Killer.
and Killer, they were quite difficult to know how to approach, because on the originals it's that 90s production thing of just layers upon layers of, well, percussion, like guitars and everything really is just layers.
Yeah, because
So
Crazy beat. I mean, because you know, Crazy, like I warm up to, like, you know, Killer, which I can just do a like do ba do. You know, I can just fit that in. But Crazy, what is that beat? It's kind of like a bass. What's going on with the bass drum in that? What are you gonna do? I can't wait. I'm gonna. Yes.
Well, there's loads of different ways of playing it, but there's actually I don't know if you've seen it, superfan Laura, but one of my favourite versions of that is from 1999.
Right.
With Brian Blade on the drums. Now, I don't know if you know, but Brian Blade's an incredible jazz drummer. He plays with Wayne Shorter, but he's also worked with like Joni Mitchell, Bob Dylan. You know, he's one of my favourite drummers, Brian Blade. Check him out. He played with Seal in 1999 for a brief period. So you know, all part of doing this kind of stuff, you do your research, you know. And I saw this version of Crazy with Brian Blade, and I was like, and I sent it to all the guys in the band. I was like, check this out, this is good. And because it's a bit more open the way they play it, it's not like, so we're kind of taking a bit of inspiration from that anyway. I'm doing a couple of the things that Brian Blade did there, and that's a bit niche, you know, and fans won't really know about that. So it's like finding your own way of doing it, you know, while staying true to what the song
So
is.
I'm going to be checking it out.
Good.
I'm whipping my phone out to video. Well, I shouldn't say that on camera, because it's probably not allowed.
Everyone will be doing it.
Yeah, exactly, especially on that number. Let's get this question in. Drum Quest is about... What is my strapline? Drum Quest is my quest to discover what makes a good drummer, and my journey to try and become one, okay?
Yeah.
What, in your opinion, makes a good drummer to you? Define what a good drummer is.
Well, a good drummer to me is someone who makes other people sound good and feel good, you know, in the band and in the crowd or whatever. You know, you got, actually going back to school, there's certain things at school that still stay, you know. So Mr. Malpass, the brass guy, he always used to, I think it was him anyway, but the drummer is like the super glue of the band, right? You know, you're so I kind of think about the drums like that, you know, and I think of it as an accompanying instrument, you know, for me. That's how I approach, you know, I'm accompanying, I'm not a soloist, you know. There's times when the drums can be that in music, you know. And even on this gig there's a couple of like kind of drummy bits, you know, but generally it's I try to make other people feel and sound good, and I think that's what all the greats that I admire, like Jim Keltner, Matt Chamberlain, Steve Gadd, Elvin Jones, you know, no matter what kind of thing they were playing, they just make everyone else sound good.
Yeah.
So that's how I see the drums, you know.
Why are you good?
I don't know if I'm.
Yeah, I mean,
good.
You are. You're good. I haven't watched you played live yet, but you're here at the Palladium playing for Seal, and you played for some other people. But what is it about you that, you know?
To give advice to people, or you
no,
know?
what is it? Firstly, what is it about your drumming? Because this discussion has turned up, this self-awareness, right? Do people know what it is that is good about is good? What is your USP? What is your strong points? Obviously, you're a nice guy, so people get on with you and like that. But what is it drumming wise?
Well, you know, I think I do try and honour the music, you know, and play with some soul and feel. People must think I've got that going on a little bit. What's my unique selling point? Well, I guess I'm quite versatile. I would say that, you know, I'm pretty good at like learning stuff quick. So, you know, I can, you know, I can sight read, and I can, you know, I can listen to a tune and get it down quick, and then just play it, you know.
Okay. Yeah.
So, you know, I guess I got nice drums. I make a nice sound. You know, that's a lot about the drums, isn't it? It's what kind of sound you make.
What do you practice every day?
Well,
I mean, when you're on tour, I understand that you're playing, but like when you're not on tour, do you practice?
I do practice all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, doing a tour or something, when you're busy doing whatever you're doing, I get kind of, I'd love to just be practicing, you know, and I'm constantly working at that. And you know, on the road, I just generally have time to do, you know, like stuff on a pad, you know.
Like, and what would you do? Single strokes?
Like single stroke. I still do the same stuff. Yeah, I still do the same stuff I did when I was 14. And as much, you know, just right, left. I'll do that for like 10 minutes. Just that. Maybe even slower than that. And I'm just zoning into every, you know, like zoning into every detail. It's like, I don't know, it's like meditation or something.
Will you do that tonight before? Whatever
Sometimes.
time it's, I don't know what time it's on. Oh, what time you start? Is it 8?
Well, we play at 9 o'clock.
9
o'clock tonight.
So, what will you be doing, say from 8?
Drinking copious amounts of alcohol.
Will you?
No.
I didn't think that's afterwards,
I won't,
right?
Yeah, no, I won't.
Will you have one?
No,
you know,
I've in previous gigs and some bands that I do, who will remain nameless, but if they ever watch this, they'll know who I'm talking about. But you know, there's a lot of drinking involved sometimes. I'm kind of going through a period now where I'm actively not doing that. Certainly you know, I'm very conscious about that. Like before the gig, no. Maybe one.
Yes.
Maybe one with dinner or something.
Yes.
But no, I like being focused now.
Will you be on your own, or will you
No.
all be together?
We'll all be together, the band, yeah.
What is it like playing at a gig like this? Or you've played some huge events, not just here, but what is it like looking out at all those people?
Well, sometimes it's interesting that the guys that play with Adele, you know, they've played the biggest shows in the world, you know, but those kind of gigs, they're all quite similar, because all those types of venues, they're all the same, you know. It's just a big bloody shed in the middle of nowhere, and you could be, you know, and then the sound's so good, and with the Adele thing, they literally, when you're looking out, you just see these people, a little people, but then you got I don't know, Wembley Stadium or that. But at this level, I like this venue, this Palladium. I've never played in the Palladium, but we played here last night, and we got tonight, obviously. The people feel really quite close, so it's good. This feels like really nice size to communicate with people, and yeah, I love live music. You know, it's just you do connect with people, and you know, it's a worthy thing to do. You know, it provides enjoyment to people.
Yeah.
And you can see it, and when you have a good gig and all the musicians connect and the people connect, that's amazing. It's a little bit of a cliche that what I've just said,
No,
but I do believe that, you know.
It is.
And I have felt that, you know, on good gig, you know, when you feel that, it's really great, you know.
It's the best kind of natural high, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, it's an amazing feeling, and I can, you know, I haven't played on the stage like that, but even when it's right in a little pub, it's brilliant.
Yeah,
you know.
I mean, one of my favourite musical memories is I worked with a guy called Chaz Janko a few years ago, who was in the Blockheads. He wrote, you know, "Hit Me With Your Rhythm Stick" and all that.
Yeah,
I know that.
Hit me.
Yeah. He wrote that, and I Know Korea. He's worked with everyone. Anyway, he did a solo show, and I was in the band for that. But the bass player and the percussion player in that, Neville Malcolm and Pete Eckford, who are probably the generation on from me, although they still look great. We were playing just some groove, you know, and in the rehearsal. I honestly felt like, you know, it could have been a minute or it could have been 2 days we were playing that. I was just like transported somewhere. And that was one of my favourite musical memories still.
Anyone that you want to play with that you haven't so far?
Oh, there's loads of people. I mean,
if you could get a call from the next few people.
Well, I'm all about living in the now, and there's loads of people who are dead who I could think about. You know, like John Coltrane, Miles Davis, Hendrix. You know, people like that. Modern day, I don't know, because I'm too busy thinking about what I'm doing. But I haven't told you this, or you haven't, or no one knows actually, but in May and June, I'm covering for my friend who plays with Robert Plant. So I'm just thinking about that at the moment.
That's great.
I'm getting to play with someone that is a hero, you know. I mean, you know, all the people I play with, I'm very, you know, I learn something from everyone. But I am especially excited about that musical outing.
You're going to be touring?
We're doing 2 in the UK in May, and then June is America.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, exclusive.
Yeah, there you go.
Drumfest exclusive.
There you go.
And lastly, what advice would you give to a learner drummer like me, other people out there that want to, or drummers that want to do what you're doing to hold dear?
You know, soak up everything, take everything in, say yes to everything, you know, and learn from it all. Say yes to everything, and be open, and be open to anything, you know, and work hard, practice, and enjoy it, have fun. It's you know, it's a beautiful thing, the drums.
John,
yeah,
that is amazing.
My
I'm going to
pleasure.
come round It's very bright in here,
Okay.
but I'm going to prove that I am in the room.
It's bright.
You see, and I'm going to have to crouch down low to get in, to get in
coming round?
camera.
Okay.
I'm going to come round. Oh, I shouldn't really tread on that, should I? Here we
That'll be
go.
all right.
Oh, I'll sit on the seat next to him. There we go.
Nice one.
John in the house. John Blease. I mean, thank you so much.
pleasure.
Respect.
My pleasure. It's
Let
good
me
to
feel
meet you.
these drummer hands, because you know I've got to feel all these drummer hands.
Yeah, no, it's
If
good
he's
to meet
watched my interviews, he might know that. He probably hasn't though.
I've watched the GAD one.
Yeah, and
I
if
like
you
that.
haven't, check it out.
I've watched-
Thank
watched
you so much.
My pleasure.
Respect. Rock on. Good luck tonight.
Thank you very much.
He's gonna smash it.
Clap here for some of the more.
Do you know it's the
You know.
loneliness that's the killer? So you want to be free?
Yeah,
Do
you
you
know
want to
the
live your
lyrics.
life the way you want to be?